A very imperfect union, democracy and the erasure of indigenous peoples in America. Here's a map not found in textbooks. The land the founders owned had been the property of as many as 15 million Native Americans or indigenous peoples who, with their ancestors, lived on these lands for thousands of years. As European colonists pushed westward, they threatened Native Americans' way of life. How European settlers forcefully took control of the Native Americans' homelands and lives is an enduring stain on American history. Disenfranchised still, some northern tribes helped early European settlers survive in their new settlements. That these European settlers would forcefully take control of the indigenous people's homelands and lives is a shameful part of the nation's story. Native American voting rights and access to ballots continue to be debated in the courts. Betrayal, broken treaties, genocide. Despite the passage of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924, many Native Americans living on reservations continued to be excluded from voting. Utah and North Dakota became the last states to give on-reservation Native Americans the right to vote in 1957 and 1958, respectively. Voter suppression has kept Native Americans from full voting rights and from running for elected office. In Arizona, for example, Native Americans could not fully participate in voting until 1970, when the Supreme Court upheld the ban against literacy tests. President Andrew Jackson in 1830 signed the Indian Removal Act. The ensuing Trail of Tears was a series of forced relocations from 1831 to 1877 by the federal government of approximately 60,000 Native Americans from their ancestral lands in the Southeast to areas west of the Mississippi. Affected peoples included the civilized tribes, the Cherokee, Chickasaw, and Muskogee Creek nations. Voter turnout for Native Americans is the lowest in the country. A study conducted by the Native American Voting Rights Coalition found many of the barriers to Native American voters, including low levels of trust in government, the digital divide, access to transportation, access to the United States Postal Service mail. It will take sweeping dramatic action at the state and national levels to bring equal participation in this democracy to Native Americans. Well, do your part to save democracy. Learn more about these issues. Register to vote and make sure everyone you know votes. Go to the links in the description below this video for more information. Thank you, and let's be kind to one another.